Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into a really captivating story, and honestly a pretty unsettling one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tale that kicks off with this man claiming he has the secrets, to curing some of humanity's biggest diseases.
Right, just using nature itself.
Exactly. But then it just ends abruptly
Mm.
in a jail cell.
Yeah,
We're talking about Alfredo Bowman, but most people know him as Dr. Sebi.
that's the name, yeah.
He made these incredibly controversial claims, said he'd found cures for, well, a lot of things, including HIV and AIDS.
All through what he called the power of Mother Nature. That was his phrase.
And that's really where our deep dive begins today, isn't it? With the death itself, the sudden and, frankly, much disputed circumstances around his death back in 2016.
Exactly. The big question that just exploded afterwards and what we're trying to get a handle on today is what really happened to him? There was just so much intense speculation, and that's what we want to unpack.
So our mission today is pretty clear. We're going to sift through the information we have from the unexplained demise of Dr. Sebi. We want to lay out the facts, or at least the reported facts, surrounding his death.
Explore those really powerful theories that popped up almost immediately.
Yeah, and then kind of step back and think about what this whole story tells us about, health, power, how information works
Yeah.
or doesn't work sometimes.
We decide what to believe.
Exactly. So let's get into it.
Okay, so Dr. Sebi's approach, it was definitely unique. He was very firm that he could cure serious diseases. HIV and AIDS were the big ones he mentioned, just using natural remedies.
And that alkaline diet thing, right?
And the alkaline diet, yes. He put it all down to the power of Mother Nature.
And this wasn't some, quiet little practice he had.
Oh, no, not at all. Word got out fast about these alleged miracles.
Mm-hmm.
And that buzz really built him a significant public profile pretty quickly. He attracted a lot of followers, some high-profile clients, too.
So his fame is growing. He's got this following. But then, like you said, this sudden, really jarring event happens. He's taken into custody.
Yeah.
What were the actual official details around that? And then his death. I mean, how does someone like that just end up in jail?
Well, the official record states that Alfredo Bowman, Dr. Sebi, died in 2016.
Okay.
The place was a Honduran jail. And the cause of death listed was complications of pneumonia.
Complications of pneumonia.
That's the official line. That's the baseline fact we have on record.
Okay, so officially it's pneumonia.
Yeah.
But, I mean, for someone with his kind of profile making those kinds of claims, that explanation probably didn't satisfy everyone, right?
Not even close. For many people, that official statement was just the start of the questions, not the end.
Right, so what were the first, little details that made people think, hang on, maybe there's more to this?
Well, that's right. And this is where it starts to get really murky. One detail that definitely added fuel to the fire was this. His name, Dr. Sebi, was trademarked very shortly after he died.
Trademarked. Huh. Why would that specifically raise eyebrows? I mean, trademarking a name after someone passes, maybe that's just business, legal stuff.
You'd think, maybe. But for a lot of his followers and just observers in general, it felt off.
How safe?
Well, the timing.
But
The immediate move to sort of commercialize his identity right after his death, it suggested to some that maybe powerful interests were trying to control his legacy or, profit from it.
okay, so less like tidying up affairs and more like an opportunistic move.
Exactly. Especially given that his whole message was a challenge to establish medicine to the pharmaceutical industry. So this quick commercial step, for some people, it hinted at maybe some kind of premeditated plan.
Okay.
And it just solidified that underlying pervasive question.
Right.
Was Dr. Sebi killed because he had the cure to diseases?
Wow, so that question really became the foundation for a whole set of theories.
Oh, absolutely. An ecosystem of them, like you said.
And these theories pointed towards a government conspiracy to silence him. Why the government? Specifically, what was the thinking there? What's the motive?
Well, the narrative that emerged painted Dr. Sebi as this, major threat to the establishment.
Okay.
His health claims, because they were so controversial and challenged conventional medicine, they were seen as directly undermining the pharmaceutical industry.
The whole medical industrial complex idea.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So the theory goes, he supposedly had knowledge that could completely disrupt this massive system built on managing illness, maybe not always curing it.
So the motive, in that view, is basically protecting profits and control.
That's the core of it, yeah. Financial preservation and maintaining control over health narratives.
It's really something how these stories can weave together, connecting things that seem, on the surface, unrelated. Like, didn't these theories even connect his death to the murder of Nipsey Hussle?
They did, yeah. That was a huge part of it later on.
Because Nipsey Hussle was working on a documentary about Dr. Sebi when he was killed.
Exactly. So that connection, for people already suspicious, it felt like, well, confirmation.
It adds another layer, doesn't it?
It really does. It speaks to that tendency we have to find patterns, especially when there's distrust of official stories or powerful groups. The Nipsey Hussle link became this tragic, very public data point for those who believed in a wider conspiracy.
Right.
It suggested to them that anyone getting too close to whatever truth Dr. Sebi represented might become a target themselves. It just deepened the suspicion.
It's a compelling narrative. You can see why it took hold, so many threads. But, okay, we always need to ground these deep dives in the source material itself.
Crucial.
And our source, The Unexplained Demise of Dr. Sebi, makes a very clear, very important point here. It's almost like a direct caution to you, the listener.
Absolutely. This is the pivot point. The source states quite directly, however, there is no credible evidence to support these claims.
No credible evidence.
None. And that's not just like a minor detail. It's fundamental. It forces us, and you, the listener, to really think about how we weigh information. What's the difference between a really compelling theory, one that maybe taps into existing beliefs or suspicions, and actual verifiable fact?
Especially now, right, in this age of information overload.
Exactly. Making that distinction is just vital when you're looking at any complex story, but especially one like this, with so much emotion and controversy tied up in it.
Okay, so let's go ahead and wrap this up for you, the listener. We've looked at Dr. Sebi, his really bold claims about natural cures.
His sudden death in that Honduran jail, officially from pneumonia.
And then these widespread, very persistent conspiracy theories connecting it all, his challenge to medicine, even Nipsey Hussle's murder.
But, and this is the key takeaway from the source, we have to constantly remember that critical lap of credible evidence for those conspiracy theories.
Right. So the final thought maybe is this. In a world just overflowing with information, with all these competing stories, what does this whole saga, Dr. Sebi's life and his really mysterious death, what does it actually reveal?
Yeah, what does it show us about how we decide who or what to believe, how we assign credibility, and maybe what happens when the official story just clashes so hard with people's deeply held beliefs about alternative health, about powerful institutions, about who controls the narrative?
It definitely leaves you with a lot to think about.
It certainly does. It challenges us to be critical consumers of every story we encounter.